ask me why. Don't ask me why. I told you once before that I don't know. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the latest Ade Asks, our latest player interview, and I am absolutely delighted to welcome to Ade Asks. The only introduction he needs is who put the ball in the Kingsland net. It's Super Manny Williams. Manny, how are you?
Hello, Adrian. Thanks for having me on. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, I'm good. Not too bad. How are you guys, all right?
Yeah, we're good. Let's start with the coronavirus, as it is the main thing. Are you working at the moment, or are you working from home?
I'm doing a bit of both. So because I'm a key worker, I'm expected to go into school. So we've got a rota system in school. We still have children who are in school. So I'm still, when I can work from home, I do work from home. But when I'm scheduled to go into school, then I'm in there helping as much as I can.
Well, I guess for you get to see your kids a bit more as well, don't you?
Sorry?
You get to see your kids a bit more, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's fantastic. You know, it's brilliant. The amount of time I've spent with them, I don't think I've ever spent, this long of a period, together with them. I mean, there's, as tragic as everything is, that's one of the positives to it, really. Just spending more quality family time. Doing a lot of school work with them as well, because obviously my job that I do, I take it for granted. So no, it's brilliant. They keep me on my toes as well. Both boys, sports enthusiasts. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Loving it.
I've seen your son Micah, isn't it?
Yes, Micah is the big one. Yes, Micah is 11.
Yeah. At the training session you did at Slough with Tom.
Oh yes, of course.
Dan
Yeah.
Roberts. Yeah. I think he's got a bit of you in him because he kept putting the ball into the top corner of the net every time I saw him.
Are you sure? Are you sure he wasn't kicking it wide?
No. He was definitely keeping it on target this time.
No, thank you. He's got something about him. I guess it's just down to me really to try and push him as far as I possibly can now. And he's transferring it down to his younger brother as well, Elijah, who also was there as well at Togs' session. But he's 6 and he's only sort of getting the bug for it now. So it's brilliant. But Micah is he's got a really good prospect. So we're looking forward to pushing him as much as I can.
Well, he's got a good teacher, isn't he?
I don't know, but I don't know. I'm trying to be very conscious not to be too hardening, so to put him off football, really. So it's a fine balance between trying to push him and not push him too hard to the fact where he doesn't like the sports anymore. So it's a tough one, but I'm trying to teach him as much as I know. And he's got a Slough shirt already, so hopefully, never know.
That's what we like to see. Manny, I put loads of questions out for people, and there's a lot of replies. I've sent you some of the replies. Obviously today, we've had the decision from the league to cancel all the remaining games, and obviously it's up in the air about the playoffs and stuff. What's your personal opinion? Because there's going to have to be a way that you guys not playing. You need to get match fit if they have the playoffs.
Of course, yeah.
What's your view?
I mean, my view on in terms of players keeping fit, it's all personal battles, really, isn't it? It's about you wanting to go out there and wanting to keep yourself fit. I know Togs is putting a session on for us, and it's keeping us going. Quite a few of us are joining in the session, which is good. But I mean, it's with all the fitness you do, really, it's not going to be, nothing is as good as playing actual matches, itself and keeping fit. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be testing. It's going to be testing for everybody. So it's just a case of, I don't know, just everyone staying as fit as they possibly can, you know, and then we'll have to see where everyone's at in terms of fitness when we get back. You know, but in terms of the results, you know, the decision the league has made to cancel all the remaining games. I don't know. I think we've I don't know whether to be happy with the result or not. Me personally, I think we would have pushed in and maybe finished a bit higher. You know, I think but you know, regardless, we're in there anyway. So you know, it is what it is, really.
Yeah, I guess it's tough for you because you know, you're trying to get into the team and you want to play, and this is like an enforced layoff. You can't even go out on loan or anywhere to keep your match fitness up, can you?
No, I mean, I you know, generally stay fit anyway, and I look after myself. So for me, it's a case of that. The only thing that's missing really is playing the you know, playing football matches. But it's been difficult all season for me. You know, the team, the boys have been absolutely brilliant. You know, I mean, I can't really complain. You know, Dan, young player, absolute talent. You know, he's coming, he's scoring loads of goals. You know, he shouldn't be with us, you know, very long. Ben as well. You know, he plays 45 minutes, but in the 45 minutes he plays, you know, he scores goals and he does well. You know, so and Lenchi's been instrumental this season as well. You know, setting up goals, scoring them as well. You know, so for me personally, it's frustrating because I know what I can do if given the chance, and it's just been, you know, it's been a frustrating season for me, and even more so now, as you rightly said. But you know, again, we'll have to assess it when we get there.
Yeah, I guess the thing for you is that you're in a team that's up in the playoffs, doing well. I mean, the last game in the last 2 seasons, you've scored the decisive goal. So I guess you're looking to make it 3 years in a row.
Oh, that would be, do you know what, Ade? I'm telling you, that would be something else. You know, if that were to happen, I don't know. I'd be besides myself. But, you know, I just doing what I can. You know, I'm employed by Slough. I come on and, you know, I train. I do everything I possibly can for the team, and if it's coming on in the last 20 minutes and, you know, scoring a winning goal to, you know, send up to playoffs or whatever, then I'm you know, sorry, to get us promoted, then I'm more, you know, I'd be more than delighted with it, really. But yeah, a 3 out of 3 would be something, wouldn't it? I think we'll have to get the whole Slough wearing showbiz, won't we?
Well, I think there'd be a run on it, wouldn't it?
Well,
in that time.
Yeah, I think there would have to be. There would have to be, you know, get bakes and unders on it as well.
Well, yeah, especially Pakes with his new haircut, I think. Yeah, definitely. So, and not a lot of people know this, but you have actually had a career before Slough. Who would have thought? I had to look through. You're even on Wikipedia. So
you can't trust Wikipedia. They're anyway, God.
I was going to say, I didn't know that you've got a national cap for Sierra Leone. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I've got 2. I've had 2. You know, but yes, it's probably the proudest moment of my whole footballing career. One of the biggest in my whole career was to put on the, you know, number 10 shirt for Sierra Leone. It was in an African Nations Cup final, my debut against Sao Tome. It's a small Portuguese colonized island, and it was yeah, the experience was surreal. You know, it was an absolute dream getting the call and actually traveling.
It's crazy. We didn't know that we had an international player alongside Scott Davis, because he's got 3 caps for the Republic of Ireland somewhere, hasn't he? So
yeah, Scott.
Talent. Who knew the talent that we have at Slough?
We've got plenty of talent, you know. But yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. You know, something I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Excellent. When I interviewed Lenchi said something that I didn't really get until I looked back at the video. But he said that at the time, at this moment in time, that he feels that people like players have underestimated the value of football. And I think it's the same for the fans and clubs. Do you think we've all underestimated the importance and the value of even non-league football on a Saturday? Going there, the enjoyment that you get, the enjoyment that you guys get from playing, the fans get, what we get from. Do you think that we've kind of like just taken it for granted, maybe?
Absolutely. I think it's you know, we don't realize, you know, how important that is for us, you know, until obviously, you know, we get circumstances like these, you know, happens really. But I mean, in terms of the whole football experience on a Saturday, you know, or even a Tuesday night, you know, even a cold Tuesday night in, I don't know, Truro or somewhere. But, you know, the whole experience of fans coming together on a Saturday, you know, it's a whole community, isn't it? You know, it's not just going to see a football match. It's almost like your second family type thing, you know, because you spend so much time with the boys, and you know them inside out, really. But yeah, definitely, I think we do underestimate the value of football on a Saturday as players and as supporters as well, I'd say, you know. Yeah.
Well, even as clubs, because I guess, you know, you guys are, you know, you give up your spare time. I know you get paid for it, but you travel the same kind of distances that the fans travel, and, you know, you give up family time, which you could quite easily, you know, especially with young kids, you know, you'd love to be at home with your kids and stuff, but, you know, maybe clubs have just not taken for granted, you know, taken for granted the fans, and just, they're a commodity rather than a community at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they keep the clubs alive, don't they? You know, they are very, very important to the sport that we all love dearly. And in terms of, you know, missing the whole footballing aspect, it's you know, I can't you know, express enough how important, and, you know, how, yeah, just how important it is, really. You know, we do take it for granted, and hopefully, you know, after the realization of what we've gone through now, you know, we will start cherish it a bit more, you know, so to speak.
I think we do. I think we need to fall back in love with the game a bit, don't we? We seem to. It seems to be there's a lot of clubs just treating it like a commodity rather than an occasion, maybe.
Yeah, we do. I mean, some of us absolutely love the game anyway, you know, and, you know, some of us are playing until we can't move anymore, really, and that's because of the love we've got for the game, the fans, the clubs, you know, just that the whole package. So I think we just need to strip it right back and go back just to, you know, absolutely loving everything about football, you know, and not just.
Yeah, I mean, you say about your love of football. You're obviously coaching as well.
Yeah.
I know you've got no plans to retire at the moment, but are you looking to possibly go into coaching or management at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my natural progression, really, it's you know, going into first in coaching, stroke first in manager, really. I mean, not a lot of people know this, but I actually went for a job back, I don't know, maybe a few months ago. Obviously with Bakes and Unders' blessing, you know, I had huge support from both of them. You know, they were both fantastic. I mean, it was whittled down to me and another from 80, I think it's 89 applicants, whittled down to 2. I was one of the 2 and narrowly missed out on getting the you know, the job for, you know, a manager's job. But it's, for me, it's a natural progression, you know. But I mean, I spoke to Bakes and Unders end of last season. You know, spoke to them about my plans as to getting into player manager this season. You know, they both obviously support me 100%, gave me their blessings, and throughout the whole process, you know, I was in communication with them. I couldn't speak highly enough of those two really, and Trenty as well. Trent was instrumental as well in trying to advise me, the right path and everything else. So yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm aspiring to be a manager at some point. I think, I'm going to be active in terms of looking to secure a job. And again, like I said, I'll keep Bakes and Unders as close to me as possible for advice and guidance, and hopefully, I'll land something in the near future.
Well, maybe we could have another player coach at Slough. We don't want to get rid of you too soon, mate.
That's very kind of you. I mean, I do help, from time to time with the coaching. I do take the forwards away sometimes and do a bit of finishing with a few of the forwards. That's another responsibility that after our conversation at the start of this season with Bakes and Unders, that's an additional responsibility, they wanted to give me really to sort of just get my fingers, to just give me a little taste for it really. So it's something I enjoy. I enjoy, again, from our earlier conversation, I enjoy every aspect of football, and just an extension of, being able to coach and manage, work with players, and that will be, that's me really, that's my next progression. So, just to touch it really, I'll continue to work with Bakes and Unders in terms of, asking for advice and guidance and everything else. And I'll keep my eyes and ears open and see if jobs become available.
Well, I can't recommend you highly enough. I mean, we've spoken quite a few times, but you ran the kids coaching thing at Slough in December. And my granddaughter went, little Livy went. And we spoke afterwards along with her, and she, at the beginning of the thing, didn't think that she could do it. She'd never done it before. You came along and you spoke to her, and at the end of it, she was so happy because you'd spoken to her the right way, and you said, no, you can do it. She came off, she got a trophy. She was so pleased. And that's down to your coaching skills. So thank you from me.
Oh, no worries. I mean, for that's children in general, isn't it? It's just about instilling them with confidence, really. And again, it's not just children. It's how we are as human beings, isn't it? Just you knowing your potential and playing to your full potential, really, and just being encouraged to do so rather than comparing yourself against somebody is about you playing against yourself, really. So I was over the moon the fact that she after a while she sort of turned her frown into a smile, and she was getting stuck in and having a great time, which is what it was all about, really. So I'm pleased.
Yeah, right. So you know what we're going to ask you, because every question that I said to people, I said, come on, give me some questions for Manny. You know what it's going to be about, okay? It's going to be about Kingsland, okay? So just tell us about your day, not the game itself, but your day, Kingsland build up, because you were on the bench. Obviously, you came on, and how was it for you that day? And then we'll talk about
for me, it was mixed. It was mixed emotions, mixed feelings, because obviously it's a game where you don't want to be on the bench. It's a massive game and you want to be starting. Very, very disappointed at not starting. But Bakes and Unders just kept saying to me, we know you're disappointed. However, you will have a part to play, and you will have, when you do get your opportunity, go and take it. And for me, the build-up was a case of, okay, I'm not starting. I'm going to make sure I'm nice and warm and, ready, because when I do come on, whatever happens, I'm going to try and, make my mark on that game. And, it was just that from start to finish, really. The warm-up, I was, very, very pumped and raring to go. And once Bakes and Unders gave me the, the call to come on, I thought, okay, well, here we go. This is, you've got to try and do something and help out as much as you can. And the funny thing is, I hadn't, I spoke to a few of the boys about it, and we teased up. Well, we've teased up about it, saying, it was an actual shot that he was going for and not a cross or whatever. But the pass was inch perfect. I couldn't describe how amazing it was to receive that ball. And even before I received it, I knew I was going to take a touch, cut inside and shoot, regardless of what the defender did. It just happened that, he didn't know I was going to take a touch and cut in. And the touch, I don't think I've taken another better touch, first touch really. Everything just came into the whole puzzle came together perfectly. The touch was exactly where I wanted it, the cutback and then the shot. And we actually spoke about it before the game, because I think it was their right back. He was on, I think it was on Twitter, and he was having a dig at Slough, and then he was speaking to his sort of followers and fans, and doing sort of like this, saying, calm down, I've got this type thing. So when we spoke about it in the change room, and we said whenever we scored, that's got to be the celebration. So after we scored, I don't know if you remember it, but all of us running over, me, knees double, flooding, everyone running over with our hands sort of saying, yeah, calm down, we've got this type thing. But it was the experience was absolutely incredible. And I didn't know that it was in the 89th minute that I scored. I thought I had a lot longer left, believe it or not. It was only after I scored, and everyone was saying, keep it tight, 5 minutes left, and I thought, hang on a second, this might be, we might just do this here. So it was incredible. And the scenes after was just the shared jubilation amongst the fans. And it was a personal thing as well, because obviously for lovely Kevin, may he still rest in peace, we knew we were going to do it for him, Super Kev. So it was something that touched all of us. We knew what we wanted to do. And for me personally, it's one of the highlights of my career. I will never forget that day. I've got the shirt at home, it's framed, it's got couple of the boys' signatures in it. So yeah, that will be a lasting memory for me.
You actually realise just how important that goal has been for Slough fans, because some of the messages that I got was like people going to tell their grandkids about Manny Williams and the 89th minute, and the fact that Slough have been a big club, and that goal got us back to a position where we hadn't been for like 20 years. Do you realise how important that goal is in the history of
I'm beginning to. I think I started to realise after a few months after that, but I'm very, very humbled, by the love and appreciation I get from fans, and the respect and everything else. It's a humbling experience, and one which I'll forever appreciate. And I mean, a club like Slough, it's only right, really, that Slough should really be playing in the conference. So yeah, I'm hoping history can repeat itself and get Slough to the conference national.
Well, let's hope so. On the back of that game, do you know your songs? Do you know the songs that the Slough fans sing about you?
I think I know two. I think I know two. Yeah.
You've obviously got "Who Put the Ball in the Kingsland Net." Super.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
You've got "Oh Manny Manny."
Yeah, that's one I've had throughout my career.
The other one mentions.
Yes, Ade.
Now, I don't know where that's come from, but apparently
that's crazy, isn't it?
He's 105. He's 105. Manny Williams, he's 105.
I know.
105. Are you?
Do you know what? It's funny because I've been 105 for 2 years now. I seem to be Peter Pan. But it's it's great. When you hear the Slough sing that, it just goes to show that everything you do for the club is hugely appreciated, and it's why we do it. But I they can keep singing. It's brilliant.
But you know what's going to happen is if you did decide to leave and play for another club, you know that even if we played against you, they'd still sing that song. You know that, don't you?
I would absolutely welcome Slough fans singing that song. It's again, Slough's a huge part of my career and my life. It's not just about just playing for a football club. The way I speak to all the fans there, and you guys up above board members and everything else. So it's not, Slough's more than a club for me. It's not just a club. And it's something I'll forever be grateful for to Bakes and Unders, for asking me to come down and signing, and my thoughts where I actually thought I would retire at Slough, because I don't think you can go to another club and be and another better club than Slough, in terms of as a package, as a whole, and I will certainly welcome the songs from the Slough fans if I was ever manager elsewhere and playing against them,
Do you remember much about the celebrations that night?
I remember driving back with Sean and Lenchi in the car because we drove down there together, and it was very, very noisy in the car. I remember driving past the Slough coach and holding the trophy outside the window of the coach because we actually had the trophy in our car. And I remember driving back to the ground and it was very, very quiet and there was no music. And I remember getting the speakers out and thought, no, we're definitely going to have a party here, I remember everything about the night, and it was brilliant. It was an incredible night. I've still got loads and loads of videos of the night on my phone, on my iPod, everything.
It was a great day. Thank you very much for your part in that. It will be definitely remembered by a lot of the Slough fans, judging by the responses I got on Twitter.
It's an absolute pleasure.
So let's talk about the goal that you scored. Is that the best goal you've scored in your career?
I'd say it's up there with them. I think in terms of the occasion and the importance of the goal, and the timing of it and everything else, I'd certainly say it's up there with them, yes, definitely. Another goal I remember was actually playing for England schoolboys, and it was my first goal for England schoolboys as well. And that is up there as well. It was against Scotland. And it was from a throw-in. We had a throw-in on our left-hand side, just by the edge of the box. And I had a defender behind me, the ball was thrown in, and I backed into the defender, let the ball bounce sort of across my chest. And then I just took it first time on a volley, and it went in the far post. So that was another huge moment because that was my debut for England schoolboys. My mum was there, my missus now was there, so I was about 19, I think. So yeah, it was a very long time ago, but I still remember it now. So that was the Kingsland goal was definitely up there with it.
Right, let's move on to some quick fire questions for you that have come from the fans. Best ground you played at?
Sorry, definitely Arbor Park is one of them. I have to say that. No, Woking was a good ground. Woking's very good ground. Fratton Park. There was a Hampshire Cup final for Havant. And that was rocking as well. So yeah. MK Dons ground when it was brand new. Played a cup game there for Maidenhead at the time, and that was so brilliant ground. So some fantastic rounds. But yeah.
Okay, who's the tightest player in the Slough dressing room when it comes to buying a beer?
Oh, I could name a few. You know. Tightest, probably Sean Fraser, I'd say, one of them. Definitely Sean Fraser is one of them. Who else shall I say? Sorry, Sean, it has to be you.
He's going to love you for that
probably
next time
Sean.
you see him, isn't he?
Probably
The best player you've played with and the best player you've played against?
Okay. Best player I've played with is Clarkey, so David Clark. Played at Maidenhead with him. Central midfielder, absolute immense. He never gave the ball away. Kept everything simplified, and he just you know he kept us ticking over. You know, So David Clark, when I played at Maidenhead. Best player I played against, we'll have to say Nicole Crancher. So it's when he played for Portsmouth at the time. Never seen anything like it. You know, we played against Portsmouth in a friendly, and it was a full house. But you know, the things he did that day was incredible, you know, and so Nicole Crancher, best player played against, and David Clark, best player I played with. Right,
Scotty Davis has asked me to ask you, are you the best Uber driver around?
Do you know, I actually saw that actually. It's cheeky, isn't it? No, it's I'd have to say I'm the best club Uber driver, because I'm like the daddy figure, aren't I? You know, so when we go out, because I don't drink, you know, I drive everywhere. So whenever the boys need a lift back, you know, I actually chauffeur Scotty around. So Scotty, yes, I am the best Uber club driver around. Yes, yeah, definitely. And I enjoy looking after the boys.
Right, your last question comes from Chris, who's one of the guys behind the goal. Same one that Lenchi had. Would you rather fight 10 duck-sized Kingsland players or 1 player-sized duck?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I guess you're smaller to the ground, so kicking the ducks would be a lot easier.
Would be easier, yes, but I don't know. There's 10 of them, so I don't know. I'd probably say one player-sized duck. I'd say it's just a 1-on-1 there, isn't it?
There you go. Right, the last question of the interview. It's got to be, Manny. How old actually are you?
You told him, Ade. Aren't I 105? Aren't I? Oh, or was it 125? You said.
I think it was 120. You must be 127 by now, then.
Well, no, I don't age. No, I am actually 39 years old. I will be 40 this November. So 39 and not out, still going. And I still feel like I've got a couple more years in me yet before I hang up the boots. So yes, 39 years old and still counting.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Manny. I really appreciate you coming along.
It's an absolute pleasure, Ade. Thank you for having me on.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much, Manny Williams.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers.